Hey guys, today I'm going to do a tool haul of all the cool things I bought since I started leather crafting. First and foremost, we're going to start with this Fiskars cutting mat. It is 18 by 24 inches and it is double-sided, self-healing. Okay, I'm going to show you the other side. All right, and it has the, it's in inches and they are divided by eighths, which is really nice. This was on Walmart.com for $20. Highly, highly, highly recommend, because if any of you have ever researched cutting mats, you will know they can get very pricey. And this is extremely reasonable. But in case nobody ever said anything on... well, if I found it difficult to figure out how the inches were broken down, and no one mentioned it, not the product descriptions on any website that I found this on, and only one video on YouTube. Thank you. So yes, 1/8 of an inch here, and this is really, really an awesome mat. Okay, so moving on, I want to go with the Tandy Leather products. All right, so French edger. I bought this in store, okay, at Tandy Leather, and this was about $13. So it's a good intro. It could probably be a little sharper. I don't know, and it's also got a learning curve, which I'm still getting used to. But anyway, good intro to a French edger, which you can do some skiving with, because it's pretty small, but you could do some skiving with, especially on the edges to thin those edges out, and a bunch of other stuff. So the Burnishing Solution. So this is basically the Tokenol knockoff. This was about 10 bucks. I also bought this in store. This is the Tandy brand. This is how it comes packaged. There's like no smell or anything, just to show you the consistency. And it's not like greasy or anything. I didn't really have any prior experience with Burnishing Solution. I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on the Tokenol because I just don't know how much I'm going to use it. But I think the 10 bucks was worth it. So that's that. That's the Tandy products. Next, we're going to move on to Harbor Freight. Okay, I bought these in store as well. Okay, so first we have the Carpenters T-square ruler. So on this end, it is looks like about 6 inches on the inner measurements by 11, and then on the outer measurements, it is 8 inches by 12 inches. And let me tell you, this sucker is not a flimsy piece of metal. This is substantial. Like, this thing must weigh over a pound. Oh, and this was costed $4. Okay? Yes, highly recommend. This cork-backed ruler at Harbor Freight was $2. 12 inches here. The inches, you have several different ways they break it down. You got, this is 1/32 of an inch. Then you have the 16ths. I like that the lines here, you can do 1/4 of an inches. They're like longer than the other ones to make it easier for counting, or you can do 1/16 of an inch. It does have millimeters, but the part I really like is the corked back, for when you're using on your leather. You're not going to be scratching it all up by mistake. All right, so moving on here to the Rocky Mountain Leather Supply products. Okay, so I'm going to move this over here, show you everything I got, and then tell you how much everything is. All right, so first and foremost, this is Olfa brand, Japanese skiving / utility knife, $15. It comes with the blade on. And it is a replaceable blade, and it has, this is the guard that you put on it when you're not using it. You just have to loosen this a little bit, slide this in, tighten it, and then it keeps it, protects yourself from getting cut by mistake if you have it in a drawer somewhere. I think it works quite well. It's really good as an intro to skiving, because I didn't want to sink a ton of money. that I just ain't got right now into a big skiving knife. That maybe for Christmas or something, I'll be ready for that. But for now, this is awesome. And I bought the replacement blades. It's a 3-pack for $7. So this is 15, comes with a blade. The replacement pack of blades, which I'm not showing here, you get 3 for $7. So I got those just so I have them on hand. Next, what I was really excited about was these Japanese pricking irons. They are the, I don't know if you can see what the measurement on here is. It's kind of hard to see. The light's reflecting. These are 4 millimeters. So you get the 6-prong, 4-prong, 2-prong, and the 1-prong, all for the cost of $14. I think that is extremely reasonable, especially when you start shopping online and people try to charge crazy amounts, especially for an intro set for a beginner. So I'm going to put those to the side. All right. This is called their alphabet and number punch stamp set. $5, guys. And let me tell you, it works pretty well. I was going to do a sample on here, but I don't want to make the video too long, but maybe I can do a quick to show you how it shows up. Don't mind that. That was like that when I got it. So what you do is you take your letters, you know, figure out which one you want, or your numbers or your symbols, and it comes with this. You put this over top of the letter, and then maybe I shouldn't have did that on glass. That was stupid. But I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can see it like reflected there. It came out with an A. Anyway, depending on the type of leather you're using it on, it may show up better on some other leathers, but pretty damn impressive. And the reviews are phenomenal. So that's what made me get in. For $5, you can't beat it. You get the lowercase letters here, some super cute symbols. Now they are pretty small, but you know, I really like this set. And then here you have your capital letters, numbers, a few symbols. So I highly recommend this. That's really cute. Then I was really excited about this because I was going to make my own. This is called a double-sided leather strop, and it comes with the microfine green sharpening rouge. Okay, this was $12, guys. So this is the side you put the rouge on, which as you can see, I haven't even used it yet. You put the rouge on here. This is the rouge, and it's going to look like green. And then you take your tools. I'll use, for example, and you go, I think 30 times is what they recommend on each side. And then to polish it, like get it like, I don't know, I guess refine it or whatever. This is the fuzzy side. You don't put the rouge on this side as far as I know. And then you do it again 30 times, 30 times. And it's supposed to really sharpen your tools quite nicely. So for $12, yeah, sign me up. I don't have to make my own now. And it's so cute and easy to store. Okay, so that's it for the Rocky Mountain Leather products. Next, we are going to move on to Dollar Tree products. Okay, so we have a plethora of things, guys. Now, I didn't get all these at the same time. I got these over, you know, years, months, whatever. So first and foremost, this glass cutting board, I got years ago. And I hardly ever use it for cutting vegetables because it hurts my ears. Like, you ever use the glass cutting board and when that knife comes down, it's like a sharp, piercing sound in your ears. But I saw online that when you're skiving, you really should use glass instead of a cutting mat, because then your tool, you know, when you're skiving, your tool won't dig into the material underneath the leather. For example, if I'm skiving on this, it's going to get caught on here, you know, as you're coming off the edge of your leather. So I was like, oh my God, I have a glass cutting board. Perfect. So $1.25. Everything I'm showing you here, except one thing, which I'll show you last, is $1.25. Okay, so glass cutting board. Readers, if you're like me and you are far-sighted, nearsighted, I think I'm nearsighted. I always get them mixed up. I bought a pair of readers. These are the 1.25 magnetization. Anyway, you guys get it. You know, figure it out. Depending on your eyes, you may or may not need these, but $1.25, these are my new best friend, especially when I'm doing the close-up needles and, you know, anything detail oriented with leather crafting, I really love these. Okay, these are spatulas. I found these in like the automotive section. The reason I got them is for if and when I ever use glue, you know, like on the edge of something. Let me find a piece of leather here. When you're gluing, you know, you can use this to apply your glue to your edges. This one would be obviously for like a really big piece of leather, but I figured these might come in handy. I don't even have any leather glue because I'm not a big fan of glue, but I have them just in case. All right, this is called Crafters. What the heck is this called? Craft double-sided tape. So I learned this in a Tandy Leather class. You take this, you stick it on your leather, and then you peel this backing off, which is kind of tricky if you don't have nails, even if you do. And then instead of glue, you're using this to, you know, stick your leather pieces together to keep them in place while, you know, while you're ready to, you know, punch your holes and stuff. So it serves the same purpose as glue. In my opinion, it's not as messy. However, I have found that it's kind of wide. So what I'll do is I'll take a scissor and cut it into skinnier strips and use those strips on the edges of my leather. But this is awesome. And it's quite sticky. Okay, this sanding sponge, as you can see, brand new, never used it. But I think I may use it in the future for burnishing the edges. So first you have to sand them down. And then you do your, you know, whole burnishing solution and all that. So I thought it'd be kind of cool because I could just hold it. All right, so that's that. And then this is a self-healing, I guess. It's supposed to be self-healing, one-sided cutting mat. It's really nice when I don't see... It's funny because I have this awesome Fiskars cutting mat that's really big. But it's like I don't want to mess it up. So when I cut stuff, I've been putting this over top of my good mat, so that I don't care if this gets screwed up because it's cheap. So this is a 6x8. It's got pretty decent measurements. Impressed with that. Let's see, what else do we have here to show you? Okay, we've got some binder clips. So why would I use binder clips? Well, I'm going to show you. So like when I want to hold my leather pieces in place so that when I start sewing, they don't shift all over the place. That is another reason. Another reason, maybe you glued something and you want to really adhere that glue to the pieces. You might want to put this on for additional reinforcement, but I ran out of binder clips. So yesterday I ran over and I got these, $1.25, and I got these just for larger projects. I thought, you know, why not put them in my arsenal? And so that is that. Oh, I got this. Now, this was in the plus section at Dollar Tree. It was $5, but I don't have the other one. It came with 2 knives. It came with a folding knife, which was really cool. My husband took that one. It came with 3 replacement blades, which I'm not showing here. And it came with this one, which is the one I really wanted. And there's even a place to store somehow. Let me put that back in there. Oh yeah, so I have an extra blade in there, and I gave him the other blade. But yeah, this is really, really nice. And for $5, you get 2, and they're very substantial. This is not the cheapy feeling ones that you... Oh, sorry. Me and this damn camera, we are going to battle, I swear. All right, so next and also last is going to be the Amazon products. Get ready. Okay, so we're going to start with the mat set that I bought. This was $19. Okay, hold on. $19. Okay, so what you get is this felt mat. This is supposed to be for like noise absorption. I don't know how much noise it absorbs, but I use it. Yeah, it's, I guess for padding, it's probably a good thing. So I do use it. It came with this really nice, feels like a very good quality, 2-sided cutting mat, self-healing. Now, I will say, I don't know what these numbers mean or these measurements are. They don't really mean much to me. I guess if you're using something as a guide, I'm really not sure, but if you're just needing a cutting mat and you don't care about measurements, this is very, very nice. And then I have, oh, sorry, I'm like shifting everything around. It came with this, I think this is a punching mat, like when you're, you know, punching, like using your, you know, you're punching your holes with your chisel irons, pricking irons. I think that's what this is for. And then, but this is the ones I was trained on in Tandy Leather, although it is personal preference. Some people prefer these, some people prefer, I can't remember what this is called, polycarbonate maybe, but I mainly use these. As you can see, it's got like a bunch of holes in it, but what I do is I put it on top of this felt mat, I put my leather in there, and boom, boom, boom. Which brings me to the next item, is my mallet set. I got this set for $16 on Amazon, and I really, really like this set. And I wanted both styles because, you know, it just depends what your project and what you're working on. You just may want this flat one. You may want this one. It just depends on your preference. So I flip-flop back and forth. I will say, I mean, these feel substantial. Like, these got a good weight to them. And for 16 bucks, totally recommend it. And I use them a good amount. Now, I will say, one thing else that I really like about them is this on the ends, because when you know how when you use a lighter to, you know, when you're at the end of your stitch, and what am I trying to say? And you like burn the ends of your stitch, oh my God, your thread. Then what I do is, sometimes I'll use the lighter. As you can see, it's got little burn marks, but then sometimes I'll take this and I'll go, to really pound it down, and like, you know, because it's metal. So anyway, just an idea you could use with yours. All right, next is the edge creaser, also called wing divider, also called a whole bunch of stuff. And it is, this thing feels substantial. This is the 4-inch edge creaser / wing divider. It was $10. And the reason you'd want to use this is to, when you're doing your stitch lines, you want your stitch lines to be straight. So before you use this to prick your holes, you want to go over this with your edge creaser, or what the hell would I call it? Yeah, edge creaser. And then, you know, because you set it to the width you want it, and then you make your lines, okay? And then you use that line as a guide to prick your holes. All right, next is the strap cutter. Amazon, $17. Now this I've only done some test pieces. It was not that easy because the leather I have it's very soft. I need some stiffer leather, but it does say in the instructions, if you have a softer leather, which is basically floppy, in order to get it started, you need to cut about the first inch so that you can get it through here, so you can have something on this side to pull it through. Once you get it started, it's great. But just, if you're going to do that, just know that that first inch that you cut may be wasted because, you know, I don't know how straight it'll be. And so you're just using that as a pull tab to pull it through. But anyway, this was, like I said, $17. And I just think it's an essential tool that it's really going to come in handy. And it's got, you know, nice measurements, and it's nice wood. Feels really, really substantial. All right. The next thing I got from Amazon is this rivet set. Now it comes with, it was $6. It comes with this rivet setter. Stick it on here. And so you put your, I can't remember, I have to look at my old video and remember how, which one goes on here. But anyway, so this is for the smaller rivets, this side. And then this one is for the larger rivets. So you got 4 different colors. This one would be that. And then you take the other side. Where is it at? Shorter side. And like I said, you got to get your, you have to, first of all, you got to you got to punch your hole. This is the hole puncher into your leather. And then you put this through the hole. And you put this one here. And like I said, I can't remember if you put the short one down and do it like this on top or the other way around. But, you know, either way, you'll figure it out like I did. And you got a couple different sizes here. So, I mean, it's okay because the one side usually comes out like it bends and it ends up being a little crooked. So maybe put this underneath your fabric where nobody will see it. I mean, you have to look really close to see that it's a little crooked if it sticks out any bit. But you'll get what I'm saying if you do this, and you'll be like, oh, yeah, that's what she was talking about. For how much was it? For $6 though, it was worth it. I mean, just to have some rivets on hand. So that's that. The magnetic snap closures are next. Okay. So these are, you get 30 of these for less than $8, and then you get 50 of these for about $8. Now these are the 14 millimeter size. All right. I wanted a nice size. Now these are the kind that you push through. Okay. And then they come with, these are the things you push it through, you put this on, and then you bend these little arms. And you do that for both this side and this side. And let me tell you, these are magnetic and they are strong. Same with these, the ones now, the difference is these are a little more work because you have to sew on this side with these 4 little holes, and then sew on this side to the other part. Again, these are, you know, depends what your project is, how you want to do it, but these I do highly recommend. Very strong magnets. I'll show you what one of the push ones looks like on the purse I made. And so I did this through this piece so that you wouldn't see it over here. You feel me? Now this one, I don't care that it's, you know, not covered on the inside because ain't nobody gonna see it unless I show you. But that's a nice magnetic closure, okay? Next is the 56-piece D-ring / purse hardware set. This was $12. These are the 30 millimeter size. They have some smaller ones. I didn't want something that small. Matter of fact, I'll show you on this purse. So this is one of the D-ring sets. And this is the matching clips that were included. And then this was the matching sliders so you can adjust your strap. And I think it's a decent size because this is about a 1-inch strap. So I'd say they allow for about a 1-inch wide material. So that's the, what did I say it was? 30 millimeter. 30 millimeter. And yeah, you get a bunch of different, you know, colors here. You can see through the bag, you know, but you got a rose gold set. You got regular, looks like kind of a yellowy gold. This is like super bright yellow gold. This is like, ooh, this looks more like natural gold. You got a nice silver, and then you got like you have a black, and then you have, well, that's silver. So yeah, I think it's a really good variety for $12. And you got everything you need, at least for, you know, one or two of each for like 2 purses each, 2 bags. Let's see. We have the nail drill set. Okay, this they claim is not available anymore. They just probably have some different brand name or seller, but this was $11 at the time of purchase, which was over a year or 2 ago, and it's freaking awesome. I originally got it for my nails, but I don't use it for my nails anymore because I do more easy, low maintenance stuff. But anyway, it's rechargeable, USB-C. It comes with a bunch of these, oh my God, like emery board type round filers. You just slide it over this piece. It has 3 speeds. So you just press and hold, low, medium, high. Changes direction on a dime, and you press and hold to turn off. Now, what I've been using it for, okay, so for burnishing, I will first use this piece with one of these emery board filers, excuse me, to get, you know, to get those rough edges off so I don't have to do as much manual labor like I would with a sanding sponge or an emery board. Then I put This is the buffing one, which I may need to get a couple more of those to buff the edges. Again, it sure beats the manual labor of one of these, but you could still do one of these maybe for finishing to get it maybe shinier. I don't know. I'm still learning and getting better at burnishing. It's not my strong suit yet, but this is a nice, like a cottony buffing head. So I do recommend this unless you want a Popeye arms, which, I mean, I don't mind my arms being toned, but sometimes you just don't want to put that much work in something, depending on how big your project is to burnish. It is a lot, and it could start to hurt your hands and your arms. Okay, so that was that. Now, the last item I want to show you, I got from Amazon. This is all the Amazon stuff. I think I already said that. Is I got a kit, and the kit was less than $23 at the time. It came with a bunch of stuff. It came with a case and everything, which I don't have here right now because I don't use it. I'm not like traveling around with a bunch of leather tools. I have a desk now and I store my stuff in there. Anyway, bunch of different needles. This is the burnishing, I can't remember what it's called. I don't know all the terminology, but it's for burnishing the edges. And then it came with this edger. Now this has, it came with a few different, see if I could open this thing. It came with some different edger heads, and also I think it's called a tooling. I don't remember, but this is the little tools you'll need for it. So this is to loosen this little screw up out, and you can change your heads. And then this here, this L thing, this thicker one, that's where if you want to put it in the side, so you would use one of these little heads, and you would kind of the same concept as this creaser to mark your stitching lines. I used it before I had this, but now that I have that, I pretty much just use it as an edger to clean up your edges of your leather. And then it came with all these hole punches, which I find very useful, and they work very well. I've used these multiple times, and I really, really like them. So obviously, you need your mallet to pound down on those. All right, it came with this really cool X-Acto knife and some replacement blades for it. I can't remember, I think 5. I believe there's 5 replacement blades. It came with these stitching wheels, which I don't use. I don't find them very useful. I mean, I kept them because I don't want to throw them out, but I don't find them useful because they don't really make indentations that are noticeable, you know, to where I can punch the holes. I don't know. This is, it looks like a scratching awl, and I probably could use it as a scratching awl, but it's called something else, like a stitch threader or something. These are the things from the kit I'm not going to use, but I don't want to throw out. Just in case, on the off chance, I may use them someday. It came with a scratching awl. Now this I really do use, and I really do like. It came with these. I guess they're kind of like finger protectors. You know, I haven't used them, but they are made out of leather too, and they smell pretty good, like leather does. So I don't know, might use them someday. Came with this ruler. Before I had my cork-backed ruler from Harbor Freight. This is what I use, especially it's really nice as a guide when you're cutting things. The measurements ain't worth much. I mean, if you're doing inches, that's fine. But they're very strange measurements, and good luck with that. But just to use as a cutting guide, absolutely, this is I made good use of that. Now, it did come with these pricking irons. These were no bueno, in my opinion. They were better than nothing because I didn't have anything for a while. So yeah, I used them, and I did everything I could with my nail filer to try to, with the diamond file, to get in between and smooth out these machine lines. See those machine lines? That makes it very difficult when getting through the leather. You know, they're not smooth like the Rocky Mountain leather ones are. These are smooth. They don't have those machine lines. So they're okay. I'll keep them as a backup, but I'm not a big fan of those unless you don't have anything else. This I found awesome, useful, sharp. This is nippers. I use this for, you know, cutting thread when I'm done, especially to get real close. I use it just for cutting off little excess pieces of leather. You know how it gets that stringy stuff after you skive. So definitely love that. This was different. So I've used thimbles before, but I never had one like a ring. And you know what? I've used this several times and it is very useful. Highly recommend. Also came with the kit is this threader. You know, I've had these so many times in the past and it's like I had no clue how to use them. Well, once I learned how to use it, wow, what a difference this makes trying to get some real thick thread through these needles. Speaking of needles, it came with 2 of these needles, which are pretty much what I use for all my hands. I only do my leather projects through hand sewing. It also came with these very large, I don't know what in the world. I guess I'd use it for like thicker leather. I'm not sure, but they are, I mean, they've got, these ones have the points on them. So I'm not real sure. I guess like maybe, I honestly don't know what I would use them for. I guess, like I said, a thicker leather that didn't have pre-punched holes. But with these, I'm, you know, punching the holes with the pricking iron. So I use these. And I'm using waxed thread. Speaking of thread, it came with several spools of waxed thread. And let me tell you, I've already used a lot of these. I threw them in a baggie, but there's a very wide variety of colors. And you get quite a bit. I think there was like 16 of these. So this kit for 23 bucks, I'm telling you, it was worth it to get started. This is the first thing I ordered to get started in the leather craft game. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Oh, and the last thing was I got this at Joann Fabric back when Joann Fabric was still in business. This is a Fiskars brand rotary cutting knife. And let me tell you, it's freaking awesome for cutting straight lines and cutting your leather out, using this as a guide. Highly recommend these. You can get this probably from Walmart. You know, just go online and now this is the 60 millimeter. A lot of them are 45. This is the 60 millimeter rotary cutter. And it does that for safety. In fact, I just ordered 2 replacement blades off Walmart for 10 bucks. But I can't remember how much this was because I got it so long ago. But this is nice. Got a nice rubber grip. So that's all I have for you. I hope you found it useful. I will do my best to get some links in there. They may not be direct links to each product, but I will at least put the links to the businesses, you know, that I ordered from. And you can, from there, go on and find the products. So thanks for watching.